What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, his little brother Jace. Bro Shot, how we doing tonight?
What's going on, man? Still getting used to the slow jam music intro, but it's good.
We're making it happen. And returning, it's our guy Chuck, who's on duty right now. But he was like, I'm not going to let a little thing like work stop me. I am here for the big show. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? just so the taxpayers know, it's secondary work. It's just guard duty tonight.
Because if it's one thing we can't stand, it's a tax cheat. But all right, so there is a ton to discuss and talk about. I think. Oh wait, before we get into all that stuff, let's say what's up to our folks here hanging out with us in the chat as always. Justin Huber, the movie guy. What's up, man? Snake guys, howdy partners. David Thanos, heyo. I'm assuming the Chief is now hard at work binging on Daredevil season 3. He should have, as we've been trying to get him to for like years now. Blake Tarpley, sup party people? All right, Jeff, Jason, Chief. Well, Chuck, maybe Chief will show up. We're waiting. Lawson Wallace is here as well. What's up, people? How are we tonight? Jeffrey, Justin, Snake Eyes, David Thanos, and Blake Tarpley. Anyone else looking in the chat? What's up, man? Don't worry, we're gonna get that retro breaker. He'll be back up. King Collector, the king, is in the building. What's up, y'all? What's up, King Collector? Jalen Parks here as well. Movie Files crew, what it look like? It's gravy, man. How about you? Except for whatever is floating around in my eye. There we go. Oh, let's see. Where's the Chief? Where's the Chief? I should make a t-shirt on that. Mm-hmm. Where's the Chief? And have an old lady going, where's the Chief? I think it'll work. I think it'll be big business. All right, so oops, more comments. Chuck with a cameo. Chuck is hard at work. That's what happens, though, David Thanos. That's what happens with him. So he does try to come on a little bit more often. We're working on him. Michael Solis. What's up, guys? What's up, Michael?
What up?
Blake Tarpley. Chuck, live from a van in an undisclosed location. Back to you, Jeff. Figure foul talk will be tomorrow. You're absolutely right, Jamie. All right, so let's get into it immediately because this is why Chief isn't here right now. He's watching Daredevil season 3. Daredevil Born Again. And he's dead wrong for missing Daredevil season 3. But Daredevil Born Again got started in these last few days. I have been, I'm going to say hard at work because, I mean, watching a good show is not really hard work. But like I said last week, Disney did something a little bit unprecedented from them as of late. They gave critics the full season of Daredevil Born Again. And what did they? Here's the 3 good episodes. Tell everybody how great it is. And then watch their disappointment begin to come with episode 4, 5, and 6, etc. So they sent us all 9. I watched all 9. And oh boy, you all are in for such a great show. I'm trying to think of another Disney show or Disney Marvel show that's on the same level. I think Loki was solid because it was just, hey, we're having a little fun. It was in that nebulous area outside of Endgame where whatever you guys want to do, go for it. And we're willing to go along for the ride. I think Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson had really fun chemistry. And what they were doing was outside of the regular MCU, so they could just have whatever fun adventures they wanted. And it was a good time. Daredevil Born Again continues building up on this show that's been so good. I really like season 1. I thought season 2 was better. Same for season 3. I was like, man, this is getting even better. And season 4 hits a new level where I'm just like, good gracious. Now, we're going to talk about briefly Y'all let me know in the chat if you watched it. If you want us to talk about it in full on, or we watched it, let's talk about it in detail. Or please give me a break. I haven't watched it just yet. And so it's crazy. It was a really fun ride. I think one thing that Daredevil has going for it is the cast. The cast is really great. If you did watch these first 2 episodes, the new cast additions really work. When they were making these announcements on, hey, the cast is changing up a little, I was like, not sure if we need to mess with the formula of this work, but I really didn't feel like, this would be so much better if all the old regulars from the first 3 seasons were there. Like, this is good. It felt fresh, and it didn't feel like we got to go do this on the cheap. And as great as that first 15 minutes fight was, there's some that are even better. Well, some that are just as good. And there's a lot of cool stuff. It really does feel like Daredevil's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I say that without spoiling anything. And it's just like, yeah, it's really into this universe that we've been engaged in since Iron Man. And I can't wait to see where they go with everything next with season 2, which is already underway. So that's my non-spoiler review. I loved it. And I'm really jealous of you all for getting a chance to watch it and letting it breathe every week and going, whew, that was an intense episode. So let me know what you all think. Do you want to talk in spoiler format, or do you want to talk vague? So let's see what the chats are saying first. Jalen, looking good, Chuck. First line of defense. I feel very sick. Lost it. Already work on designing for my t-shirts here. Jeffrey, you should have a 70s Agatha Harkness from the Fantastic Four in that shirt yelling, "Where's the chief?" I like it. See, I can get you to draw her up and we'll make that happen. So every week he's not here, I'm going to swap out my shirt and then put on the Agatha shirt. Justin, Loki was great. WandaVision was just meh. I like WandaVision, but I could understand why people who didn't like the format would not like it. It definitely wasn't for everybody, but I did enjoy it. David Thanos, yeah, we're going to talk about that too. The Oscars, especially since Chief isn't here. Jamlin, by the way, before the haters rear their ugly heads, that is a fantastic shirt, Jeff. You always have great taste in shirts. My man, thank you. Justin, go ahead, Jeff. I won't be watching it. Spoil away. David Thanos, saw the episodes. It really doesn't look like a Disney show. Ryan, good to see Clark Johnson again, but I miss him wearing a hat like he did on Homicide. Victor, what's his face is awesome. Victor, help me out, Victor. Ryan, watch show, don't mind spoilers. Freedom of speech, great. Talk all the spoilers you want. I'm a grown man. No weakness in this dojo. Wanda was my favorite of the shows I've seen, says Ryan. King would like to go ahead and tell us what happened. Forget about spoilers. Oh, I'm going to put that up to tomorrow. I got to go back to my email and save it. Thank you. Shaq says both he and the general friends of your shirt. Funny stuff. All right, so Jace, Chuck. Oh, Vincent, the King thing. Yes. Okay, let's talk about it then.
Let's talk about them hits.
Let's talk about them hits. Jace, what did you think about the first 2 episodes? You text me right away.
Okay. So when I first text you was after the opening scene, and I'm just like, I know y'all didn't just do that. I mean, it very much subverted expectations in a good way. It's okay. Are we spoiling? We're talking to people ever like to see it.
We're talking. Everybody say go for it.
All right. Okay.
So from here on out,
this is your warning. You did not watch it.
First 2, just the first 2 episodes.
Again, I got two episodes, but here it is, folks. After everybody was, we got the band back. Chuck had to go. He's like,
Chuck had to go. Like, no, don't spoil it for me.
Well,
welcome back. All right.
All right, but this, I mean, for all the fanfare, the band is back together, except it's not. The first, I mean, in the first 5 minutes, we were all happy that, I mean, you had the band, like I said, band back together, and then Bullseye knocks out Foggy.
Hold up, you were going way.
What are you talking about? That's the first minute.
No, I'm because you went over so much with it.
No,
Bullseye in the comic books, when you read, kind of watching the panels, you get a sense that this dude is really dangerous. Watching Bullseye move in real time and real action, he's like an insane whirlwind of crazy carnage violence. And they're just like, oh, here's a bottle. I'm going to make a sharp end and kill you with it. It's insane how he's just rolling around. And like during this fight scene with Daredevil, he is just, oh, a penny's on the floor. Let me plug it through your eye. Oh, there's a peanut. Put it in your throat.
That's the Foggy thing is what starts it. So I hadn't gone 10 minutes into the show. Foggy is what actually starts the action.
Yes.
So, no. But just, I mean, just that's, it's like, hey, we are, it's the very same Marvel show that you saw on Netflix. This is actually going to be, you know, your favorites might not be here, but they're going to have good stories on what happens. And that fight, I mean, again, I'll give that Bullseye fight was very well done. I mean, it was, you saw him in Daredevil and just passerbys just, oh, you're catching one. I don't know where he found all those knives, but he found 1,000 of them. Huh?
But he's not just using knives. He's using whatever he can get his hands on, which is way crazier with him. Because it's like, oh, here's something. It would be one thing if he was just pulling off all this stuff. He's using shards from glass. He is wild in that fight. And it's that one take that they keep doing with Daredevil from season 1. This one was brutal. And let me see here. Sounds very graphic.
You know, weirdly, it was a brutal fight, but it was not a lot of gore to it. I mean, it was Bullseye was, I mean, he was fighting very much Netflix style, but you're not going to see blood splattering everywhere. But there were definitely consequences to that fight.
Ryan says, I was really disappointed in them killing that character. It's a lazy way to make the hero angry. So I was, when it seemed like, are y'all really going to do this? I was, I'm very much, in the camp of, if you kill a character off, someone who has a better idea of how to use the character can't do that idea. So, do the Serpentor Duke thing. Put him in a coma. And as I'm going through like on my way home from work the other day before I finished the last few episodes, I was thinking, would that have been as effective? I kind of feel like they could have, but then so much, and you not spoiling anything, it continues to play a part in the series in a way where it's not just this, oh, here's a shock thing that happened. Like it really does matter. And I think if, oh, he's paralyzed, he's in a coma, it wouldn't have the same impact. And I am really like you in just about every instance of that. I hate when characters are killed, especially in comics. Oh, we'll find another way to bring them back, which is lame too. But I really felt like this one time, it made sense for the story, and just because it doesn't make him angry. So, yeah.
I mean, just for us who have just watched 2 episodes, it actually does, by him even just taking a year off. I mean, just from not being Daredevil, it's actually affected him to his soul. It's, hey, I'm not doing it as much as I used to. We're not thinking he's been Daredevil all the time we missed him in since Daredevil season 3. But it's also, he's now like, hey, there's consequences. I'm over this right now. And just that ramification is it's actually been hard. He's had to make Matt Murdock has had to make choices like I'm honoring my friend, even though this is hurting my city and probably me because I don't want to do this right now. And I think that just even for 2 episodes, that's actually good. Like, hey, if him in a coma wouldn't have made sense, but it actually had to be Foggy was killed, and it was not because I wasn't being Daredevil. It was actually because I was Daredevil. And I still couldn't stop what happened. I thought that was a good start for
Mm. Mm.
Chuck, what about you? What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, and I've only got the first episode down, but it, just from a you see the difference in the Disney money, right? I think that's one of the biggest things. You see the
Yes.
difference, and you know when I very first got into comic books, Frank Miller was a huge influence on me. That he was just like his run on Daredevil, and Bullseye was just that's epic stuff that they don't really touch that stuff too much these days, and to finally start seeing that kind of reflected, even as he's like swinging through the city, right? Like you're seeing the acrobatics, him like going up the fire escape and stuff. Like it felt like the Frank Miller Daredevil to me. So I'm really excited about what's coming, finishing this season off. But there were a lot of really cool shots, and like you said, to watch Bullseye, like to see just how deadly he is. Like he is um, a villain. He's worthy of Daredevil, and Daredevil is worthy of him. If that makes sense, as they're fighting that scene, and they're fighting each other, and like you said, he's just tossing stuff at individuals, that are just standing outside the fight. It was amazing. I'm really impressed by that first episode, and they really do set you up. And then hearing Matt hearing Foggy's heartbeat slow, right, as he's
it.
fighting,
Yeah.
was just amazing, an amazing touch there. So yeah, I'm very happy. I'm excited to see where it's going.
And I really like that casual, dismissive, like, I can't be bothered fighting you anymore. I'm done with you. And it's, I was like, oh shoot. Like, I felt like I was going, oh wow, whoa, that's crazy. So often
Right,
watching this show.
right. Yeah, he
And
looked like a pincushion at the end of that fight. Daredevil did.
he did. He had so many, but I guess I think what it was he had all that adrenaline. Oh man, you just shot my best friend. I'm going to make sure that I stop you before you get my other best friend, and I'm going to make you pay for this. So,
I mean,
you
also,
know,
I mean, the other thing is like the costume he got from, I guess we want to say from She-Hulk, but I don't think we have to mention She-Hulk in that.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think he's got an upgraded costume that can. I mean, it's like it's not. I mean, I know it's Bullseye, but it can take some non-direct knives, shoved in there. I mean, thrown in there versus somebody 2 inches away actually trying to do you dirty.
So Michael Solis raises an interesting point. I'm curious to hear what y'all think about this, but I loved how they used Bullseye. I was disappointed by the death. I feel like they could have written him off in a different way. Now, initially, when they started talking about doing Daredevil on Disney Plus, there was this, yeah, we're not bringing back Foggy and Karen, and folk were like, "Whoa, how are you doing this and not having those characters on?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, that didn't sound great." And then they came, we're like, "Oh, we're bringing it back! Yay, great! Oh, you killed Foggy." And then they wrote off Karen, and we learned later on in the episode she's in San Francisco, which, if you read the comic book, probably won't end well for Karen, but. What did you think? Did you feel like you missed those characters after watching an episode or two? Or did the new additions, Jerry, the former police detective turned investigator, and Kirsten kind of fill in those gaps in a different way that kind of work with this new story?
From the legal, I kind of like how it showed Matt evolving because he doesn't have his childhood best friend, or that he's like, hey, I'm willing to still be a lawyer and look out for the little guy, but I'm also got to understand that I got to actually make a little more money. This isn't just for the people.
For the people.
Again, I don't know if they're. I mean, again, I guess you know more from comic books. I don't know that Karen can't come back, but I guess you're spoiling that.
No. In the comic book, her trip out west does not end up very well for her. They've kind of gone past a few things from where that situation is in the comic. Look it up after the show. But it's a lot different when she goes out west in terms of what happens with her whole character.
Yeah, but so far and I'm trying to think. I like his law partner. I thought was good addition. The copyright. I mean, he actually sees he actually is Daredevil, and they don't have the drawn out. Oh, am I going to turn you in? Even though I'm retired, my first day, I'm actually going to. Hey, I'll help you out. But I thought that was a good change of pace. Who else do we get in the first episode? Weirdly, I liked the Ben Urich's niece. I like kind of how they switched very much. We're going to act like it's a time. It's not newspaper. We got the person on their YouTube channel and they're on the TikTok showing videos. I liked how they did that. Very much making you feel it was contemporary, not just some antiquated time.
So, which was funny because when Daredevil first started, I was like, boy, this almost feels like this newspaper. It's not the Daily Bugle. Like, I felt like it felt a little too old, but the BB report is such a cool feature on the show because it gives you context for what everybody else in New York is thinking, where, we used to have this very limited scope of just the characters we saw, their take on Daredevil, what's going on with Fisk, everything else. With this, it's random Joe or Jane on the street talking about stuff, and it might play into what's going on in the episode or episodes later on, but it's really cool and it gives a real sense of New York to me. I thought, because it's not your typical, this is the polished character that's part of our cast. It was just rando on the street talking about stuff that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I probably gave it real flavor, sense of New York too. What do you think, Chuck?
Yeah, I agree. I also like how they brought in bits of the other Marvel universe as they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like how they talked about other things that were going on in the Marvel universe. I think they alluded to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
There was some talk of like Luke Cage, and just like the Snap things that were going on. So I always love that when they bring the universe as a whole. And not to get on a side note, but when I went to go see Captain America, it's like the Marvel universe has gotten so big now, and it's like if you're not keeping up with it, I think that you miss a lot of those nuances, right? Like if you're not watching the 90% of the movies plus that come out, you're missing those nuances. But I enjoyed them in the show.
Yeah.
I really think there's a market, for Disney or Marvel, maybe Marvel, like Marvel Studios, to do pop-up videos of their movies, TV shows, and reference. So like, beginner's guide to the MCU, where you get everything in the comic book style with a pop-up. See Captain America or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier for this reference in Captain America Brave New World, or miss this appearance by General Thunderbolt Ross in Civil War. Watch, so it's like you could figure out, oh, okay, I need to go to this. And maybe they could do this on Disney Plus, where you have more of that interactive nature, where you could go immediately to a scene. I think that's something that would work, especially with technology now. Where back in the day, you would see this kind of note in a comic book. What you would do, let me go read that issue. Let me go to the comic book store, go through the back bin. Hey, here's this issue they talked about. Let me read it. Oh, that's cool. And it was just whatever. And I think that's the unique thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we don't see with DC. They have so much history to build on. And if you don't happen to understand that reference to this old guy, Isaiah, hanging out with Falcon, whatever, who cares? You can catch up or watching the story, but you know so much more. You understand on a deeper level from watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, yeah, I really think that's something they could do. And I love that about it. Where you missed out, you know where you can go find that stuff out. And in the streaming content era, I really think hey, go watch this would be great all around. Ryan said something. Oh, first, Henry G. Thanks for tuning in for a moment. Enjoy Daredevil. Ryan, I do grant that Bullseye killing Foggy gives Matt the hatred that Bullseye earned in the comics for offering Elektra. Absolutely. You're right. And then you said, I adore Deborah Ann Woll. She was actually my favorite part of the Netflix seasons, but if they had to kill a character close to Matt, I would have rather they offed her and spared Foggy.
With that, I mean, the weird thing is they always kill off the girlfriend, love interest. I think that's why this not doing that is actually a different tone. It sets a good, like, hey, it's not just the damsels in distress that are ones able to get knocked out. I mean, get taken out. It's ABG, anybody can get it. So
I seen way back in yeah, exactly. I mean, right. I always thought that was fun. And I think because we live in an era where you could tap on just like you're watching a menu, where you have that ability to feature, where it's just something to give some intern time to just spend cultivating the special chapter feature on Disney Plus, give people a whole other reason to watch this stuff all over again. Hey, I've got my little kid that I want to introduce to all this stuff. They're going to go, oh, I don't remember this stuff. Hey, watch this segment here from this movie you did watch when you weren't paying attention because you're on your phone. And then Ryan with quality snark as usual. Jeff, since you've seen the whole season, can you tell us how the show continues the threads from Secret Invasion? They act like it didn't have it. Oh, actually, that's not entirely true. It's a throwaway, but if you care at all, it was pretty good. It's probably one of the better times they actually did something with it. Jace makes a great point. They always kill out the love interest. It's a bit overdone. And I think you'll have to navigate me through. I binged quickly, so I'm really trying to reflect quickly. Secret Invasion is secret. Shh. I'm a fan of Foggy because I always brought that back to being a lawyer, which is bright side of Matt helping people without a mask. All right, he is here. He is ready for your questions because he finished watching season 3. He is caught up to the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again. Let's bring him in right now. Chief, what's up, man?
Absolutely not.
Boo, this man.
Absolutely not. Hey, what's going on? How's everybody, man?
Listen, I just want to say again, for the 800th time, you, my friend, truly missed out on watching Daredevil season 3. You should have done that.
Are they pulling it?
You can still fix it. What'd you say?
Are they pulling it?
I mean, you can still watch it.
Okay, so it's still available then.
Watch the show now. Now it's time.
You know what? How's the Penguin?
It's great, Chief.
Yeah.
But you know what? Daredevil season 3 was out before the Penguin. Daredevil season 3 was out before the Penguin.
You love a glass house, bro. You throw.
Nah, dude.
I live in the glass house. If I'm in the glass house, you in the glass house next to me.
No, I don't. Can't see me, Chief.
I see you, Cena. What's up, Snow Glare? Hey, what's up, movie guy? What's going on, man? Yeah, man. You what's up, Wallace, man? Yeah, bro. You need to catch up on your stuff too. I'm trying. At least I'm trying.
Where are you on season 3 now?
Well, I'm gonna explain some things to you.
Go for it.
So my people started watching. I got them to watch it, right?
Which one? Like the first season?
The first. So they want to catch up to me and watch the rest together.
Oh wow! Don't you love that?
It's fantastic. So this is the delay. So I have to wait until they're caught up, and then we're gonna watch everything together, and then we're gonna watch Reacher together, and then we're gonna be buried together when we die.
You know, Reacher's not part of the MCU. Just a FYI.
Well, we do it's allowed movie files. It's not allowed MCU files. So I mean, you know, we watch Reacher, right? So I mean, Thanos, this is how it is, man. This is how it is. You know that. You know, and for some Wallace, but others, you know, I'm okay at shower time. You know, some of the people hide several glasses away. I'm all right. I don't feel awkward. You know, so this is what it is. This is what it is. What's up, Jace? Okay,
Reacher is good. There you go.
See, this is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. Jace is muted.
I know. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Okay.
Maybe he was looking at Karen's past.
Or he's on Brazzers.
I don't think we're allowed to do that.
So yeah, man, we're gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna check out this. From what I understand, it's awesome. It's an awesome watch, the new Daredevil. And I'm gonna catch up on it, man. I'm gonna catch up. Hey Chuck, what's up, man?
What up? What's going on?
I'm just you know what, man? I feel like crap, but I'm here, man.
Well, we appreciate
Snake Eyes, what's good, bro?
us with your presence.
Well, I try, man. I try. I wanna I don't know what's going on with me lately. I've become I was never the sick child in school, but I've become the sick old adult. So if it's available to be caught,
up your omega-3 intake,
bro. I've been popping vitamin C pills like Skittles. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I get better and then I get right back sick, man. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna drop off some chicken noodle soup.
Man, that's my guy. Yes. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, man.
He's gonna have the sirens blaring too, so he gets it to you really quick.
Hey, man, that's how we got to do it, man. I love chicken noodle soup. You know what I mean?
Lawson, Daredevil was always my favorite MCU series. That and the Punisher.
Yes. I've never. I still got to catch up on the Punisher, man.
You didn't like Punisher?
I did, man. You know, it's so crazy to catch. Sometimes you just like life is lifing, and then you got all these shows that come on,
like
and
Penguin?
Yeah, like the Penguin. You know what I mean? But I figured you watch the Penguin because you got because you own a show. But
own a show?
Yeah, this is your show. You own this.
Jace is like a 2% equity in it. So
then that's 98% to you. Jace, you all right, man? Jace is focused on why don't we read what you reading, Jace?
You reading about Karen? Is that what?
Oh, nice.
You on Amazon? You trying to get cheese and chicken noodle soup?
No, he's not going to order me nothing.
You already got orders taken into you. Good.
You already know that.
He's got what I mean? Chuck Uber.
I think every time he sees Puce, he wants to punch me in my face. So every time he sees a Puce shirt.
Jace is catching up on reading Daredevil comics.
Yeah,
he must be.
Oh man,
got to be more equity in owning a YouTube show than owning a glass house.
Yeah, it's got to be, man.
Especially when they egg your house all the time, Lawson.
Well, and only one of us here is driving a Porsche, Jeff. So,
hey, Chief, if you keep showing up and working hard every week on the show, next year I'll get another one. Yeah, no doubt, bro. I hope you look. Here's to you getting your second Porsche. There we go. I appreciate you. So Daredevil is really, really good. I highly recommend watching it. I think the cast has been good. I really like Kirsten. I thought she had a really good chemistry with Matt. And one thing that continues playing out through the season, no spoiler, because I would not do that to y'all, is how the show continues to marry him being a vigilante, him being a lawyer, and then the lawyer scenes, which are actually written by people who understand law.
Whoa, who does that? Wait, are you telling me you got a show about a lawyer actually has, like, it looks like he's talking to clients and knows what he's doing?
Is somebody taking shots at Seahawk on the low?
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't low.
Come, my friend.
You said definitely that was high key.
It
Okay.
was high. It was above me high. Yeah, so that's really good. And I think that Daredevil kind of on the real sneaky tip is a really good legal show because Matt has like that special. Oh, I mean, it would be like a Fox show. He can read your mind or he can hear your heartbeat. And the show would be called Pulse. And everybody, oh man, did you hear what he got? And I think that's what makes it so cool because the lawyer stuff is really compelling and is really good. The second episode, which you haven't seen, Jace, what time of year was that one?
What?
The second episode.
I'm gonna assume January.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was after the ball drop.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Thing.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of cool characters. And Ryan, season 1 only had one courtroom scene. Took them a bit too long to get into the lawyer stuff. Is it just one? Was it just one courtroom scene? This seems wild. Yeah, but I really dig it. And yes, there are all kinds of new characters coming through. Very interesting. But final thought, Wilson Fisk's storyline is really solid. And the moment with him and Matt in the diner really made me feel like this is the MCU equivalent of Heat. Where it's like, yeah, this Eggs Benedict is nice and all, but if I see you back out on the streets and it's you and me, then brother, you are going down.
Oh, that's crazy.
You're such a hater, by the way. Just want to let you know that.
You
got to think that juggling a real job while being a crime-fighting vigilante got to be tough. How many art deadlines did Steve Rogers miss in the comics? Murdoch missed out on filing motions. And also the new love interest. Big fan.
Who? You said a new what?
New love interest.
True. What's that joint? True. What was that show on HBO with the vampires? True something. True Blood. The girl from True Blood not there anymore?
Yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Well, at least in the first episode.
All right.
Ryan, I have one complaint that goes all the way back to the Netflix run. I don't like how they make Daredevil fight. They make him a bruiser where I think he should be graceful and elegant. I'm wondering if they're trying to make him more of a boxer, like on his dad's thing where he just keeps taking punches and then eventually gets his good knockout blows. Because that is true. I also think with the Netflix run, they couldn't have him being acrobatic and doing his version of Nightwing before Nightwing and bouncing back and forth and popping people. Also, I think that makes it harder to distinguish him from Spider-Man if they're both kind of having a similar fighting style.
Yeah.
Jace, what do you think?
I think, you got two guys in red outfits that are both based in New York. You want to have them be very distinct, especially because at some point you do want them to share the screen together. So it's good to have a bruiser, boxer kind of, who can fight against ninjas versus Spider-Man on his side doing what he does. So that was cool. I think somebody mentioned this earlier, but I did appreciate that the fact that they mentioned Spider-Man in there, and then you're reminded, hey, he was the lawyer for Spider-Man in No Way Home. And just to remind you, like, this thing that I think some of us have faulted Marvel for, it's, hey, remind us you are connected. Even with throwaway lines, just to remind us we're connected. It's all in the same universe. So I think they remember to do that well.
Awesome. All right. So keep watching Daredevil. I won't say anything until each episode, and we'll talk about that. Now let's talk about some news that dropped over the weekend. It was New York Toy Fair, so I was glued to my phone. But another big thing that dropped, let me see, Lawson said it first. I like a little bit more acrobatics with Daredevil's fighting too. I don't need him running on power lines or bouncing off of flagpoles, but a bit more martial arts grace would be nice. Again, I think they needed to distinguish him in this case from Iron Fist, because if you have Luke Cage, who's a brawling tank, Jessica Jones, who's basically a brawler, who's at the same height, you have Iron Fist doing the jumps and kicks. Daredevil has to kind of be in a mix, but yeah, I'm with you, but it's just I think they had to figure out something to make him stand out and be different. You did ask me about thoughts on White Tiger. I really liked how they introduced another vigilante and made it like, hey, he's not debuting. He's been here. Chuck, what do you think about White Tiger?
Was that in the first episode? Was he in the first episode?
Yes, very briefly.
Oh, okay. No, yes, yeah. I thought they did a good job on the costume. I like the costume, and I kind of like the idea that people were just comfortable with magic, right? Because they've seen it.
Yes.
They've seen it so much in the city. Doctor Strange are like flying through the city and things like that. So I like that idea, and I thought they did a good job with him. And if I could say one thing real quick about his fighting, I do think I would like to see a little bit more of the acrobatics, and I do understand why they would want that to differentiate him from some of the other more graceful fighters. But yeah, just his dad was a boxer, and his initial mentor like left him like early on, and so he kind of reverted back to that. And I think it was later on you started seeing him get refined, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, around episode 30 when you go to the comics, about from 30 to 36, you got more acrobatic.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you for that. It's very insightful.
Thank you, comic book guy.
Right. Actually, it was 36 when you showed up and started doing flips. Yeah, I mean, I think they keep doing that because we need to see the toll being a vigilante is taking on Matt. And if he's bouncing off everybody, then you couldn't show that. More street fighting martial arts would be cool to go along with that boxing, some sweeps and kicks, maybe a spin kick or two for extra power. I mean, he has done some sweet kicks on people. I'm good as long as he kicks butt. Also, I think the main thing is they didn't have money to have him doing acrobatics on Netflix to keep it real simple. And that's why a lot of those fights, it was a darkened backdrop and hey, here's some kicks, here's a punch. And because it's not like they can have Charlie Cox suspended on the wire and going like he's fighting on an acolyte or something. You couldn't do that. So that was another high shot, Chief. So that's that. Over the weekend, we got some leaked images of Avengers Doomsday, which really this ain't the Raid Redemption, it's not. Which showed off some really cool potential ideas that they're gonna go with for Doctor Doom versus the Avengers. And it is certainly looking like it's been influenced by Marvel's Secret Wars, the Jonathan Hickman story, where Doctor Doom took over the multiverse and he creates his own setup where he's in charge. He's the God Emperor, and he has the heroes like Doctor Strange serving as his conciliary. He's got Invisible Woman married to him. Her daughter, Valeria, in the comics is his daughter. Human Torch is lighting up something because he's got him occupied and bothered. Thing is an object who's just way out in the distance, and Reed Richards doesn't exist. And he's got all the heroes just kind of running around doing things. He's got all the major villains as constables, and he's got the Thor Corps as his enforcers. So it's really fun. And there's a pocket of heroes, including Black Panther, Miles Morales, Cyclops, Star-Lord, and Reed Richards, who arrive in this new universe, and they start trying to do all they can to fix things and make it right. But Dr. Doom is in charge of all. I really, really, really dug that. I reread the Avengers, the new Avengers storylines leading up to it. So when I read Secret Wars again, because that was a very long story arc, and reading it kind of back to back was really fun. I think this could be cool. We saw some, you know, initial drawings, some concept art, which showed. Did I show this stuff to you all? Did I send this to you?
I saw it. I saw some of it.
What did you think about it?
I think it looks really good. It's got kind of like a medieval feel to it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
exactly.
just I heard them say that their goal is to outdo Infinity War.
No,
That's
Endgame. I thought I read.
or Endgame. I'm sorry. Yes. And I think that's a lofty. So if that's their goal, and this initial artwork is any indication, I think they're well on their way. I'm excited about the new Black Panther that I saw, um,
Yes,
and I'm
who's an
wondering how
adult
they're
man?
gonna. What's that?
Who's an adult man, not a
Yeah,
child or not Shuri.
right. So I'm excited about that. And just that initial sketch of Doom looked menacing. It looked like Doom's supposed to look. They didn't do anything crazy with the costume or anything like that. Old school Doom. I'm excited.
And it looked like they were still doing that pocket of heroes who have managed to somehow avoid being doomified. So it looks like Star Lord is one of them because he's rocking his normal Star Lord attire
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
he's hanging with White Vision
White
this time.
Vision. Yeah, that looks
Yeah,
good.
which is really interesting. It also looked like he was hanging out with Wong and the Young Avengers, who are Miss Marvel, uh, Cassie, Hawkeye. Who else was it? Wanda's kids, both of them, and that was interesting. No Riri Williams on that team, at least there. So it was really kind of like, okay, this could be very interesting. It looked like Bucky was captured in chains, so that was kind of like, okay, I'm not quite sure where that's going, but I can say for absolute sure, this all sounds amazing. I don't understand why we have Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom.
Well, did you see that he had actually signed up? He was attached to that before they hired the Russo brothers.
No,
So he, a year before I guess they announced it, if I'm getting this right, he called them and said, I want to do this movie.
and
So
Kevin Feige
they,
said, "No way, we're not doing. You're done."
well, they had already decided to do this movie while they still had Majors as Kane, right? So they didn't bring him in because they decided to let Majors go. This was already a project that Downey wanted to do. That's my understanding, is that it was Downey that wanted uh, to play Victor.
So interesting. They're like any other actor. And I really think Cillian Murphy would have killed that role. Mads Mikkelsen, even though he was already in the MCU, he would have been awesome. There's so many actors. I'm like, yes, him. Ben Mendelsohn, who is uh, General Krennic in Rogue One and Andor, he would have been good as Doctor Doom. Like so many actors. But I mean, it's Robert Downey Jr. He's great. I'm just curious if we're gonna act like he's like everybody's gonna go, oh, Tony, and he's like, no, Victor Von Doom, or if it's just like whatever, you don't know who I am. I don't know.
I
That
mean,
is actually a concern of mine because he really embodied Tony, right? Like he played that part. He is Tony as much as like Hugh Jackman is Logan, right? Like they're so tied together that it is going to be interesting to see, especially depending upon how they play the character out, how they tell the story. And that was the other thing, is my understanding is that initially the Russos turned this down because they were like, we don't have a way to tell this story. And that what changed their mind was finding that vehicle for the story.
I read that they were tossing back and forth between which version of Secret Wars they wanted to do. And while the Battle World from the 84 series would have been fun, heroes versus villains battle royal thing, I think there's more room for them to actually do stuff to fix some of the things they've messed up doing this battle world thing. And to respond to Justin, good luck with the Russo brothers. This Secret Wars take fixes so much on the real quick and easy. And I've got to assume they're going to have Fantastic Four play a major role in this because they've got to have Doctor Doom do something in his movie, in their movie, to start all this, to explain really quickly, oh, sorry, your world's gone, and have Reed be in this pocket universe where he doesn't know what's going on. I've got to find my family, and who's this dude? I feel like this is a really easy way for them to throw in Black Panther, an adult black dude, and maybe even another random character like Cyclops. They just want to throw in there for fun. And how'd you get here? I don't know, but I'm here. One thing Jace did send me is we're going to see a character who is also familiar to everybody coming back, shockingly. Who is this that had this report? Now, this is the comic menu. I have no idea about how accurate they are on scoops and all that good stuff, but they said, a Live Warrior Insider confirms that Apocalypse will be in Avengers Secret Wars, and Oscar Isaac will be back playing him. So we can see Oscar Isaac playing 3 characters: Apocalypse, Moon Knight, and Spider-Man 2099. Chief, how excited are you about that?
What? Let us all rejoice.
So you're that excited?
Yeah, I'm irritated because you mentioned the Fantastic Four. So now I'm in a space now with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Chuck has been studying, man. He's up on his stuff, man.
That's where his second job is. He's actually in LA, making sure everything's fine.
You know what I mean?
Loves LA.
But yeah, this Fantastic Four thing is just irritating as hell. We'll see. Oh yeah, we're gonna see. That's for sure. That's for sure, my friends. We are definitely gonna see. I can't wait.
He doesn't get that reference, but yes. Fantastic Four, their costumes look like sweaters. I have no knowledge. I have read zero on this, but I am convinced now the Fantastic Four we're seeing in those trailers is a fraud, phony fake out, and it's not going to be most of the movie. Just like they had Hulk running around to the battlefield to fight Thanos in Infinity War, I think they're playing with us, and I think they're going to be running around, going through time, going through the multiverse, trying to stop this force from messing things up for everybody. Maybe they're going to think it is Galactus, and post credits they're going to realize, oh shoot, it's actually Doctor Doom, and maybe they'll do a snap or whatever, because in the Secret Wars comic book, Doctor Doom gets all the power. And then and there's a way they could do this with a real easy shortcut that would make sense to people who watch the MCU. Oh no, he got them. And there's ways for them to make this work without it being too complicated and too like, what's going on? Now I've been seeing some headline rumors. I'm not clicking on it, that they're trying to figure out a way to bring Kang back into this thing. I think that could work. Makes sense. We'll see. I'm more excited about these Avenger films after watching Brave New World, because like, oh, they still can make really good movies. And Daredevil really had me excited. So whatever happens with Thunderbolts, the one I'm like, I don't care about that one. I'm giving them a pass because I just never been interested from the moment they started saying, it's not really like the comic book. It's like the Suicide Squad. I was like, thanks. I'm no longer interested. I think Fantastic Four is where all my hopes are going now, Chief, and I know you're excited about that. We're getting there ready for it. David Thanos says Fantastic Four is irritating. Says the man wearing a green hoodie like Doctor Doom. You are absolutely right, David.
It's too late to cover up, man.
It's too late.
3-3.
They better be CGI a suit on the actors because the only thing I want to see is one in a Speedo. I feel like I'm missing the proper context for that one. I hope Kang doesn't get the foggy treatment. Nah, that ain't me. That's some serious Doctor Doom, right? King Elector. All they had to do is just recast Kang and keep it rolling. No, see the real problem, King Elector. All they had to do is make Quantum Mania a Thor movie. Every problem would have been fixed if Thor was there instead of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because Thor could beat anybody. And one-on-one, him beating Kang and then going, whoa, we got a real threat to deal with. One, we would have gotten rid of the goats. They could have possibly thrown in Hercules just for fun. And I almost feel like
Hercules could have been in the Pocket Universe, and he actually rescues Hercules.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple and easy. But yeah, I think that's what they really because Kang getting beat down by Ant-Man and Wasp after which one are you? You on the hammer? I'm like, come on, get out of here. Oh, don't bring up the Conqueror. They took away my boy's story. Yeah, Justin, I'm with you. Lawson, Thor and MCU can't even beat Weight Watchers. He worked really hard. There was a montage and everything. Yeah. I mean, the Guardians is really the best part of that. All right, so now let's go in on let's talk real fast about the Oscars. And I know this is gonna be quick just for you, Chief. Now with the orange hoodie, you look like Thing. You're a classic Fantastic Four fan. It's clobbering time. Hulk can't even make a decent burrito. All right, so Oscars were this weekend, and outside of like Dune, which we knew wasn't going to win Best Picture, I think Nora winning was great because it's the best movie of those Oscar contenders. Have you all seen it? I figured Chuck might be my best bet on this.
I have not, sir. I have not. I've been slacking on my cinephile game for real.
You know what? This Oscar movie season was lame, and I was like, man, they watched 10 movies and put every nomination behind those 10 films, which was awful. So yeah, but I would actually recommend checking out Anora. It was different, definitely not a typical Oscar film. It was funny where it was supposed to be funny and good performances. So that is my full thing on the Oscars. Because, yeah, you don't need to watch these movies anymore. Just watch what you want to watch. And as usual, the Oscars will try to throw in the biggest movie of the year, like they had the stars from Wicked, Cynthia Erivo, and Ariana Grande, kick off the show and not give either of them an award. So, good stuff. I've never heard of the movies. Where do they get them from? Adrian Brody has a lot of good things to say about it. Lots and lots. Justin, what's the Oscars? You're the movie guy. I did not watch it because I have no respect for Hollywood. Michael Solis, let's talk about the Oscars real fast. It happened. Next story. Jason is really
Conclave.
What did you say?
I said I do want to see Conclave though. I'm a big Ray Fiennes fan. I just haven't gotten it.
Yeah, it happens. All right, so Superman is getting some test screenings and people are talking about it. And Chief, you'll be happy to know the initial buzz, it has a lot more in common with your first Wonder Woman movie. Does that give you any hope or any kind of like, okay, I do want to see this movie now?
Yes, I can't wait till it comes out. I've been
back to the lies again.
Checking the calendar every day. And today is the today's the 5th. I knew that already because I checked earlier. And I'm excited, man, because you know what? This is going to be great. It's going to be greater than the Man of Steel. It may be the greatest Superman ever. And thank you for taking over the DC universe and making it great again. You know what I mean? This is going to be the bigliest movie.
The biggest. Gotcha.
And I'm telling you, man, I'm excited. And as you all should be. And what we're gonna do is we're all going out together as a collective Lyle's Movie Files. I don't want to say gang, maybe I'll say squad, and everybody in the comments and all of us, we're all gonna go see it together.
Squad goals, Chief.
I love it.
So listen,
we're gonna live stream in the theater.
I can't wait. You know what I mean? They say that he has the reason why his neck's so long because he has super swallow. And it just cook right straight down, super swallow. So because it looks like he'll drink milk and then it spoils before it hits his stomach because it's got such a long way to go. But the super swallow gets that milk there and it's still fresh. So yeah, we're gonna love it. We're gonna love it. Yeah, pack. No, not a pack. Not Mel Gibson. We'll go with posse. Clan. Anything but a pack. Parks. We can't be a pack. So we're gonna do this, man. We're all gonna just fly out to a central location and go see it together, man. We're gonna squad up, man. You know, or take the bus. I don't know if I'm getting on planes anymore, so I may just take the bus while they fly over top of me. So we'll do it, man. We'll do it. I can't wait. Save your chips, man. We're all going. Save your chips.
About the popcorn bucket and everything. Have they shown what the popcorn bucket's gonna look like yet? If we plan to wear that.
Hey, listen, man. Thanos, I'm wearing the hoodie, man. And matter of fact, not only am I wearing the hoodie, I'm gonna sit next to you and eat your candy. That's what I'm gonna do.
Because you are
right.
You do look like a jack-o'-lantern with that.
And you better not resist it while I'm eating the candy. Let it happen, Thanos.
Wow. It's gonna look dark. Wow. Go back to the Dr. Doom helmet. Yeah, that's a little better.
There you go. Somehow you sound less villainous with the Dr. Doom hat. All right. So we've been talking a lot, and sometimes we go over these movies and TV shows that they're working. What Joanne's
talking about your candy. You look at you now. You got me thinking about. Now you want me. Where you go? I ain't say nothing about touching you. I said I was going to eat your candy and your popcorn. Now here you go. Where you thinking, Thanos? You know what I mean? And I'm still, even after that comment, I'm still going to eat your candy. And I may have a sip of your Sprite to wash down the candy that I have.
Too bad you don't have super swallow.
What super swallow?
It's going to a weird place. All right, so let's go back. All right. I've gone over several TV shows and movies featuring comic book characters over these last few months. And a lot of times you guys are like, nah, who asked for this? I didn't want it.
Oh.
Chief will drink your milkshake.
Dude, why'd you even put that one up there, man?
At least now Gunn is only announcing stuff that, well, yeah, I mean, it's just weird. So I decided it would be fun if we decided to come up. I thought it would be fun for us to come up with 5 comic book based properties that we would actually want. Not a Secret Invasion that pays no attention to the comic book, nor Thunderbolts that has absolutely nothing to do with the comic book versions of any of the iterations of Thunderbolts, or that movie featuring Cyborg that Chief was so excited about. So let's do it as always. What's up, Mark A? How you doing, my man?
Mark A.
100% less top typos. So let's start round robin, one at a time. What comic book properties would you be excited to see if they were to make into a movie or a TV series? And Chuck, you were here early. The light is shining on you. The light bulb is going. What would be your first one?
Man, I was going to say Why the Last Man, but I think they did that, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, I never got a chance to see that. I'm
you really didn't want to see it.
I did. I just didn't get a chance to see it. I'm going to go with Usagi Yojimbo. You know, I would like to see that in a television format. think that
Animated or live action with a very furry buzz?
animated.
Oh,
animated.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, animated.
We get the Pixar crew on it. Make him an adorable looking CGI rabbit.
Well, I wouldn't want it to be adorable though. I would want it to be, more true to the lone wolf and cub feel of the original.
Gotcha. All right. Jace, how about you?
I'm gonna go with Void Rivals.
Oh, look who's been reading.
Yeah, I think that's a cool. Especially if you're trying to do the Energon universe, it's a good way to kind of keep some of those creature not rivaling Marvel MCU, but also, hey, we could probably do this. It's a fun thing that if you don't know it's part of a bigger universe, it can just be part of a movie. And then it has this, we get this one Transformer and it's straight up, it looks like a Transformer and does not look like it actually is a jet that looks like a jet versus something that's convoluted and no one understands what the heck it is. Just go with that. I think it could work. Like from the first graphic novel, I think it'll be a good idea.
Have you read the second one yet?
No, haven't got it yet.
Did you? What was that thing with Luke Gossett Jr. and I'm trying to remember. Oh boy, was it Enemy Mine with the alien and the human?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're digging it so far.
Yeah.
Good deal. Lawson. I want to see a Disney Universal joint TV series about Tomb of Dracula with Blade being a key central part of it. That's fun. I like that. Oops. Which one were you saying yes to, Jamie? Oh, thank you. Great. It did remember resonate there. Chief, what you got?
I was just looking at I would like to see maybe I've always loved the Kingdom Come, but I went to a comic book store the other day. Matter of fact, I tried to call you from the comic book store because I couldn't remember what comic books I was supposed to be picking up. And
which store did you go to?
Cosmic Comics.
Where's that one?
It's out Linthicum.
Nah. Haven't been out that way.
And I love that.
Thank you for watching. Appreciate you.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Extra Realist 101.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that storyline. And
The Kingdom Come.
Yo, yeah, it's one of my favorites, man. And it's funny because I'll buy the book, lose the book, buy the book, lose the book. And I was looking for it at the comic book shop, and I couldn't find it. But I'll find it again. I'll buy it again at some point. But I just thought it was one of it had all the guys in it, all the characters in it, and it was just a good read.
That would make for a really good book for them because it doesn't have to be based on any continuity. They could totally make it whenever, and that would be very fun. Maybe that's the way they could bring back some of the old actors to play the roles again. Hey, we've got Henry Cavill playing older Superman. I think that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an easy one
in
for
a
them.
mini series, like a Game of Thrones production level. That would be good. That's one of my favorite all time.
Were you thinking a movie or a TV show, Chief?
I think it would work as either. You know what I mean? It could be a nice little 10-part thing. It would work well in a 10-part show, something like that, a season, and it would also work well as a movie. You know what I mean?
I think they could sink their teeth into it more as a show.
They probably could. I mean, every episode being something, So yeah, I would love to see that.
That's a good call. Have you ever read Marvels or no? Is it the Marvels or Marvels? Marvels. Have you ever read that?
No.
You really should. It is basically so Kurt Busiek, one of the great writers, one of my favorite all-time writers of Marvel. He wrote this story with Alex Ross, who the artist who did Kingdom Come with Mark Waid, and it's from the perspective of this photojournalist at the Daily Bugle, and he's there from the start of Marvel Comics, and he's a regular dude, but he's seen all this stuff play out from Captain America, Sub Namor, the Human Torch fighting the Nazis in World War II to Spider-Man arriving, the Avengers forming, and Alex Ross was really cool and fun with his ideas on how he was drawing some of the characters. So like the Fantastic Four, the Reed Richards is drawn like the Professor in Gilligan's Island, and Timothy Dalton is his stand-in for Tony Stark, and he draws him just like him. So it's like, oh man, Tony Stark would have been great played by Timothy Dalton, and it really looks good. And because it's this outsider perspective, you read the comics, you kind of know what it's referring to, but it's really interesting seeing it from this. Hey, this is what the real world would see playing out, as opposed to our up close and personal take from reading these comic books over the years. I will send you the link. It's awesome.
All right, I'll check it out.
I can see Ben Affleck being cranky old Batman with the exosuit. Son, what are you doing here? Yeah. Lucy Liu is Kingdom Come Zatanna. Down for that. Snowglare. Marvel's is better than Kingdom Come. Usyk always outdoes Wade. I kind of like them as a back and forth. Are you reading Mark Wade's Batman Superman's World Finest? I love that book so much. Justice League Unlimited he's doing right now. Awesome as well. But definitely check those out if you haven't. Okay. Let me go first. My first one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the Legion of Superheroes. This is a comic book property. I think if they went with the like original run, when they're slightly older, not just teenagers hanging out with Superboy, and focus on that era where they're starting to grow up. They're the Avengers of their time, but have so many more members. I think that would work as a long form TV show with no end in sight. There are a lot of great Legion storylines, and from Mordru to Darkseid to Time Trapper to the Fatal Five to the Legion of Supervillains, there's a lot of bad guys for them to fight over the course of 5-7 seasons. And Legionnaires get killed in the comic books, where you could introduce that into your show, season finales or mid-season finales. Like, oh man, I can't believe they killed off Chemical King or Feral Lad or Invisible Kid. That would be really interesting. I think because of Legionnaires' powers, they could get by without having to use them every episode and just have the espionage squad do some things and find out stuff, save the CGI budget for Chameleon Boy. There's a lot of ways they could go with it, but I definitely think that's a TV series on Max that I would subscribe to it for. All right, Jace. I'm sorry. Chuck, where are you going?
You know what? I already said Usagi Yojimbo. I'm going to stay in that vein. And hopefully this isn't too obscure, but if anyone's read Bone, it is just an epic story. And I would like, again, an animated show of that, like that was true to form.
Yes.
I think that would be amazing.
Hey, Chuck, could it come out on the 1st of the month?
1st and 15th.
Yes. So get your check and come on. Wake up.
I gotta say bye, guys. I gotta jump off. I gotta go clock out here. But thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure as always. Y'all take care. Y'all be safe out there. I'll see you.
All right, we'll see you on our next movie watch along there, Chuck.
All right, I'm looking forward to it, bro.
All right, brother. Take care. See you soon.
Take care.
And Linda Carter as Kingdom Come Wonder Woman. I like that idea too. So let's see. Now, Jace, what's your next one?
I know it's already been done kind of in Marvel world, but I still kind of like the story. I'm going to go with Deceased. DC's take on zombies. I think how they introduced their little zombie virus and kind of changing up some of the heroes and some of the storylines, I thought was cool. I mean, some of the characters, how they left us was, I thought, kind of lame, but I think in the animated series, you could do it how another artist wants to. And yeah, I think it'd be cool and showing like them going to a different world. So I think that'd be fun.
You finished reading it?
I think I have the hardcover one of the final episode. I can't be sure.
Okay. All right. Because it's a really good trilogy. And I was like, man, oh, you guys don't need to bring it back if you're gonna ruin it. But it was good all the way.
Yeah, I got through the third one.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Good deal. Chief, what you got next?
So, and I don't remember which comic, no, not which comic, which storyline this came from, but it was where Thomas Wayne had become Batman.
Flashpoint.
It was a Flashpoint, and his wife became the Joker.
Yes.
I would love to see a series about them two. Like, run that whole thing again. Bruce gets killed. You know, it's that scene where the mother's there, starts crying at first, and then she starts to laugh and go mad, and then and then everything that happens after that, that would have been an excellent series, I think.
It's interesting. Your choices are very much I don't want you all to screw it up by casting someone else. So I'm going to take these isolated storylines that you can't botch and then string me along for a sequel that never comes. Just one movie, one series. I see what you're doing, Chief.
Hey, man, it's hard to mess that up.
I was going to say that I think that was one of those things why I liked the DC animated version of Flashpoint. I mean, that was very cool. And then just like had the sprinklings of like the Joker coming in there. It's like, we don't have time to really delve into it, but this is something you can use your imagination how cool it would have been.
Absolutely. King Collector says it's not Marvel or DC. No, it's whatever.
No, hey, come on, I'm going.
But it's a real good 4-part Star Wars comic called Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir. That would make a great movie or series, live or animated. It's classic Dark Horse Star Wars. Dark Horse did do some cool Star Wars stuff over the years.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, they've done some cool stuff. And one, of course, is what they should have done with their movie. But they did not because, we don't have any good ideas. Devin B, what's up? I dig a Suicide Squad TV show. That would make really good sense, too. I'm surprised that's not something they would have. And I think that was where I was like, oh, you're hiring too many big names. Because I think they could have made it work with lesser tier actors who don't have commitments to do movies every other year or every year, like Will Smith and Margot Robbie. I think if you just kept a lower tier, cool, I've got this check coming from this TV show, that could have worked. Yes, exactly, Blake. Dark Empire, for sure. So my next one is New Warriors. And I keep mentioning this because I really want them to do this. In the 90s, Marvel was like, hey, we've got all these teams, but they've been around so long that new extreme teens of the 90s don't have a team to relate to that they grew up reading. And so they introduced a new team with all these teen heroes, and dynamics were fun. The leader, Night Thrasher, was very much influenced by Punisher. He wore black armored suit, and because it was based in the 90s, he had a skateboard, and he had a handgun with him in baton, and he was doing his thing. Really cool character, and somebody that they could do something else with as well. He had a spinoff title back in the 90s. He was so popular, and there's so many different members of that team, different power sets. I would love to see that. I think that's one that would make for an easy movie, and just have them fight somebody, some villain who has some sustaining, but maybe they can have him fight what's his face? What's the boy? Gosh, why am I blanking on him now? Hulk's villain, Abomination. Have him fight him. He's a powerhouse. They work together to beat him, and they've kind of nerfed him a bit on She-Hulk. So that'd be an easy way for them to beat him, and have them fight as a team. And they're a group who can stand side by side with your other teams, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, just a younger group, not the Young Avengers, because I don't like the whole, hey, it's Junior Captain America, it's Junior Hawkeye, it's Junior Quicksilver. Just give me my original characters who have their own powers and aren't based on somebody else, like the New Warriors. So that's mine. Jace, what's next?
My next one, it's funny because I'm watching Supernatural, and I got to one of the lowest rated episodes in the series for some reason, but I actually kind of like that what they were trying to do. I'm gonna go with Magic Order.
Ooh, look at you experiment with some fun stuff.
I mean, yeah, because it's like you got a world divided. I mean, you know, a town. I mean, an area divided by magic mobsters. I mean, it's you can to me do stuff with things that has not been done. Hey, let's try and do something like the Supernatural episode I was talking about was it was like Chicago was run by 5 monster families. It's like, how did y'all not think this would be cool?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was very much like, gosh, y'all, this is a gold mine right here. It's a spinoff series. So I think trying to do something like that, you can figure out how you keep your budget, but yeah, let's do something different. So yeah, Magic Order's my next one.
I'm so glad to hear you talking about these newer properties. James was with me right there. That is such a great series. And it's still going on. And Mark Millar is actually working with Netflix, hopefully to get this thing into a TV series. It needs to be a TV series, it's not a movie.
Oh.
And hopefully it fares a lot better than Jupiter's Legacy in terms of not being canceled as soon as it starts. But yeah.
The thing is, as long as you come with a real expectation of the budget, I think that's what killed Jupiter Legacy is they had cost overruns and killed the show before its first weekend. It's just like, hey, let's keep this budget here. Let's keep it under an Acolyte budget. We should be good.
I love the unsolicited shots. Anytime we can take them with Acolyte. Bam, bam. That's a really good one. And it's still going on right now. So pick it up at your local comic book stores. So Void Rivals, Magic Order, 2 great reads, modern stuff. I'm going to throw in a new one. Chief, what's your next one?
I wonder if they can do the Hulk. So they did one. I want to say I saw like a little cartoon adaptation of was it Wendigo?
Hulk versus when he
right him and the Wolverine shows up.
Yes,
it
would.
That would kind of be nice, man. And I mean, if you did a little, and I think you probably could throw in some stuff and everything and turn that into a movie, by following either the Hulk or Wolverine through the process, and then have that scene has the ending fight. I think it would be cool.
So they did kind of tease that with Deadpool and Wolverine, where they had that, going through time, and you see the claws of the Hulk, or the reflection of Hulk. Like that's where they were fighting in the woods. So I was like, oh man, that would be really fun to do. Yeah. Oh, sad walk away, David Banner. Yes. X the Realist 101X All-Star Superman could bring.
Thank you.
Oh shoot. I knew somebody was gonna say All-Star Superman.
I like this guy.
The Realist. You gotta understand, man. We used to give Jace the blues over All-Star Superman. I mean the blues.
For no reason. Great movie.
Because we always be like, how did the sun destroy someone who absorbs their powers from the sun?
Destroy him. He's living in the sun.
He's not living in the sun.
He's living in the sun.
He's dead.
He's
not living anywhere. It destroyed him.
Because Lex Luthor's a genius and he figured out how to poison him with the sun. Great comic. Great comic.
That's your favorite comic of the night, no doubt.
It is his favorite, man. I miss teasing you about that. I need to wear my All-Star Superman shirt next time we have a podcast.
I'll have my Fantastic Four shirt ready for you.
You know what I mean? But your face is gonna be on it. It's not gonna be All-Star Superman. It's not gonna be Superman's face. It's gonna be your face superimposed over Superman's face. All-Star Jace.
Lay says animated Firefly series. For decades, fans wanted more, but the actors aged out and or passed away. The comic books, they could be adapted to animation. And I guess they could use the surviving actors as the voice actors for the property. That'd be fun. But I don't know if anybody's going to touch something that Josh Whedon did right now. So.
Who passed away on that show?
Authority, the Netflix show. Ron Glass. Josh Whedon come back to TV and pay respect to his friend John Cassidy. There you go. And was it John or Gunner who said the Authority would be another one too? Justin Hubert, get somebody like Travis Knight to direct Void Rivals. That could be cool. Jalen, dude, imagine Chiefs movie Hulk versus Wolverine versus Wendigo with little to no dialogue, done similar to maybe directed by the director of Prey. I like that idea. That would be very cool because you don't need Hulk to talk, and Wolverine doesn't need to. He's tracking people, and there's no one for him to talk to.
Wendigo. That's the only thing you hear during the fight. He was always screaming that.
Right. Jalen Price. I thought All-Star Superman earlier, but was trying not to start.
You just didn't want to have to deal with what I have to deal with. That's okay, Jalen.
Exactly.
All-Star Superman.
My next one is a modern one too. Red Coat. Red Coat is about Simon Pure. He is an immortal and he gains his immortality right around the time of the Revolutionary War, where he is a British operative and he runs afoul of George Washington and a gang and becomes immortal. And he is a jerk. He's always describes himself as not a very good guy. And his first comic book arc sees him traveling, encountering different characters. I won't spoil, but it is so much fun. Not quite like a Quantum Leap thing, but he meets historical figures, and it's really fun seeing how he interacts with them. One character in the first arc he meets as a young child who becomes pretty famous as an adult, and then in his later years, he encounters him again. Really good stuff. I cannot recommend Red Coat enough, but I think that would make for a really great TV show with whichever streaming network wants to do it because it's part of the Ghost Machine, wide open. All their stuff can be adapted really easily. Geiger, Red Coat, Rook, Exodus, Hornsby, Halo, etc. Hyde Street. I think Red Coat would be the easiest and cheapest one. That or Junkyard Joe. So that's my recommendation. Red Coat, but all the stuff from Ghost Machine would be great. Jace, what's next for you?
I know it'll never happen because of how they do these things, but I still love. I know I would love to see a. I think because I need it to be a little violent. I need an animation of Darkest Night. DC.
The Darkest Night.
Blackest Night.
Blackest Night. Oh god.
Blackest Night. I mean, even if you just have to do it in black and white colors, just so it's not as grisly. I mean, as violent as it probably needs to be. But I think doing that as a TV show, animated for maybe I don't know, just say it's a 5-season run. So yeah, you get actually some of these heroes you're lost, and you see some of them come back. And, at the end of it, you get to Brightest Day. It's like, I mean, I really do think all of the Flash run, the Jeff Johns Flash run, all deserves that, and the Green Lantern. All of that could get made into a series, and I'd be happy.
See, the tricky thing with it is they bring back so many characters who died over the course of the DC Universe run that it wouldn't necessarily connect with people who weren't really familiar with it. Like, oh no, here's Earth 2 Superman, and he's a zombie who's coming for hearts. But I would absolutely, and I would trust DC animation to do it if they didn't so dramatically massacre my boy to Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Hey, I don't know what happened with the DC animation budget, but that whole DC Crisis, what was it? The Tomorrowverse? The art on it was, it was crap. I mean, it's like, I understand you don't want to spend super amounts of money creating a product, but that was just so rudimentary art. And then just we got we're spending a whole lot of money on these voice actors, but the art just does not match up to what they are. And that whole garbage that was Crisis. Just now they got to spend. It's like put some money. All of these projects need money into it, but actually would be good.
That would be very good.
Yeah,
Jalen, what's up?
So y'all been watching Invincible?
No, not yet.
I didn't watch. I watched a little bit of the I think either last week or 2 weeks ago. I just I'll pass on this one.
Bro, they have changed. Whoever used to draw the characters is no longer drawing the same characters. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. Like, short his girl look homely as hell.
Eve
I'm like,
it's box head. It's like,
yeah. I'm like, yo, what happened to Eve? As soon as I saw Eve, I was like, this is wrong. This is wrong. You turned her into the Thelma from Scooby Doo.
Wow.
It is noticeably different.
She was Daphne, and now she's Thelma.
Has anything happened to make her look like that?
If you look,
the art.
Yeah, if you look from the Eve movie that they did, and then you go to Invincible, it's like, wait a minute, why are we changing this? It's noticeably different.
Yeah, I was like, yo, and then he was like, yeah, I like you, and I was like, not her, not her,
not this version of you.
Right, you're doing too much for this one. You need to go back to last season.
She's not a good person,
right? Go back to last season and tell that one you like her. Bro, it's the C team. Because I think a B team would have made her at least like yo, Shorty look like she's just home and she's baking muffins for her cats. You know, here, Toonsis. After you eat your muffin, you can take the car out. You know what I mean? Toonsis the cat.
Toonsis.
And I see the cat to take the car out. Like,
yeah,
wow.
You know, Toonsis, man, he's gonna drive, and so it's horrible, bro. Like, you home baking muffins at 18. Like, yo, and I just couldn't understand that. I just like, what did they do to her? Yeah, King Collector, they
You know, the funny thing is, I think it was the last episode when they it's not Machine Head. It's who's the guy that Mahershala Ali was voicing? It was like the guy who turns into stone.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then when they didn't have Mahershala Ali, it was like, whoa, what? Wait a minute. Like that was it's very different when you certain here.
Prime starting to cut back on that budget.
Yeah, but raising up your price.
I mean, again, it's Mahershala Ali. He's not filming Blade. What are y'all doing?
Right.
He's reading the script of Blade.
I heard that. It's one in development. It's looking real promising. Just looking for a director.
He walked into 7-Eleven, asked who could draw, and then walked out with a bunch of guys. Like, anybody here can draw? Sir, I can draw. Put your bandana down and your coffee. Let's go.
Yeah. I didn't go to 7-Eleven, by the way.
Yeah.
Jamelin mentioned this, Chief. I recommend this book to you. I don't think I've told you about it yet, but you really would dig it. A book I really enjoyed and finally got the trades for is Nocterra. Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel. Really good. It's basically these creatures are ruling the night, and these truckers, and it's a wild crew, have to drive around with all these lights, because when the light goes out, the creatures descend on them. So they have to stay in these camps with all these massive spotlights to keep the darkness away. Yeah, kind of like that. And it's more exciting. And they have this character who's like always coming after them. It's really cool. I think you would dig it a lot. I think a TV show would work really well on that, Jamelin. And it definitely has some horror elements because it's what was that? And oh no, my light's flickering out. So yeah, I think that would be really good.
Jamelin, man, you told me about maybe a Green Lantern story I need to get up on. Now that I know what a comic book store is around my in my neighborhood, hit me back with that one so I can find out what it was.
Fanatic coffee artist.
Yeah. Listen, Wallace, they're ruining everything, bro.
I mean, because it's one of those deals. It looks like they're cheap and bad. I mean, it's just like, come on. If you know you're going to do multiple seasons of it, just do it. Like, I'm sure these guys would love to
I
be
mean,
working all the time.
it's bad, man. When you see her, you're gonna be like, that's not good. It's visibly noticeable. It was the first thing I noticed when watching the show. I was like, what the hell?
In the comics, she gets a little bigger. So that's not that's what I was asking. Like,
Listen, it's like Oliver, you can see he's one of those, even though he's a new character, you're like, that doesn't look
Appreciate
like
you.
Oliver should look either.
Like
Okay.
when you say she gets a little bigger, she thickens up.
Yeah. Like it's part of what happens. That's why I was like trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't think she thickened up. I think she just got more.
It's the art.
No, wait. Now, when you said thicken, I should. She puts on more weight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, like, what's his name? What Friday after last? Shorty, when he walked in the house and his uncle had the girl with him, and she was digging Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's in the comic. Eve is not posting shots every hour to her IG thick. She's just like thick. So that's how she looks in the comic book.
Oh well. I mean,
she just doesn't care. I mean, it's like she's just older and she stops trying to fit into her spandex outfit the way that she did when she was a teenager.
Okay, well, let me tell you, this one here never wore spandex. She has floral prints, and she wears sandals everywhere. You know what I mean? She doesn't get her nails done, no makeup, hair tied back in a ponytail, tight ponytail. I'm just saying, when you see her, you'll be like, "Oh, Chief was right." There's nothing like she's totally different than last season, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like you didn't ease us into it by doing subtle changes through seasons. You was just like, she's here.
That's just how it happens. Chief.
Yep,
you're here. Yep. You're not. My next one is one of my all-time favorite comic book properties, and I feel like with James Gunn here, there's more of a possibility that it could happen. Wrong way. Justice League International. That would be awesome. It's basically Batman and Martian Manhunter and Black Canary working with a bunch of other string heroes and still trying to keep the prestige of the Justice League while working with guys who are like, hey, how am I paying my light bill today? And it's one where it kind of plays out more like a sitcom. Like, I feel like James Gunn would knock that out because the characters are all talking like real people. And Batman is so Batman. It's just like he does not belong with these characters. And it's great because he's Batman through and through. And we've got these guys arguing about the seats on their transport. Or, hey, it's cold. Why are we always on these missions where it's a terrible climate? Why can't we go to an island? And the Green Lantern for this team is Guy Gardner, and he is a macho jerk. And the clash of characters would make such a great show. I do not care how it gets done. Cartoon, live action series, either one. I don't want this as a movie. I want as many hits of this as I can possibly get before they go, wait, this show is too good. We can't have it anymore.
Again, I mean, since they're already introducing Booster. Yes. I mean, not Booster. Booster Girl is coming, and Guy Gardner is already in Superman. It's not that hard to say, hey, can we just do this animated and keep it?
Yes, with one punch. Seriously, I mean, and there's so many running jokes that would make sense for a TV series like this. It's just like, why? And this is one where they would absolutely have to model the art style after Kevin Maguire. Maybe have him be a design consultant so he can get paid big time for his contributions to that series. So he can get a steady paycheck as opposed to here's some pennies because you drew some characters once upon a time, but really put them on there and have them go, no, Guy Gardner needs to look like this all the time. So
I mean, Guy Gardner, his attitude switch is just the thing of like comic legends.
So good. Hey, Chief, did you ever read that?
Did I read what? International?
So it started off as Justice League of America, and then it became Justice League International, and then it went back to Justice League of America. It was really good because it was like the first time. So like the behind the scenes story was they needed to reboot the Justice League, but none of the editors or none of the writers for the big hero books would let their heroes be in this Justice League. So they originally approached it like, cool, it's going to be the biggest and best heroes. We're going to put Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, all these top tier heroes on it. And they were like, nah, Superman's not joining this team. Neither is Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Neither is Green Arrow. Neither is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. Oh, Wonder Woman's not here either. So it was like, who is left? And then the Batman editor was like, you can use Batman, but don't make him a joke. And Martian Manhunter didn't have his own title. So they're like, all right, we'll use these two and Black Canary. They're foundational pieces of the Justice League. Who else can we get on this team? Let's throw in Captain Marvel. They're not doing anything with him. The actual Captain Marvel, the DC version, and / Shazam. Dr. Fate, sure. Let's throw him on here. And yeah, Blue Beetle. Yeah, we just bought him out from Charleston. We'll throw him on the team. Dr. Light, she's not doing anything. And we'll put in Mr. Miracle from Apocalypse. And yeah, let's throw in Booster Gold. And it's just like taking all these characters, and our Green Lantern is Guy Gardner. And it just take all these characters, all their personalities, all their potential personalities, and just throw them in a blender. And here's your team. And it's they do action scenarios. They're fighting super teams. They're fighting really bad top tier villains, but it's just they're acting like real people. And it is so funny the way they do it. Chief, was it Fantastic Four full circle?
I think it was definitely a Fantastic Four, right?
It was Justice League Europe.
I don't remember Justice League Europe, but I remember it was like a Fantastic Four, something like that. You wanted me to appreciate a Fantastic Four comic.
I like it. Yo, Chief, real. I'm gonna send you the link for Justice League though, because it is so funny because they're just like where it's like it was funny because the writers were trying to make it funny, but it wasn't like, oh gosh, that was lame. It was like legitimately they understand how to make them sound like real people who, like, I don't like this coworker of mine. He sucks. That's how it was where they didn't all get along, but they just had to work together to do, superhero stuff. And everybody had their different personalities. It was just great.
It was like the thing is, they had people who understood how to do comedy. And the funny thing is, you could actually do that version of comedy in today's era with no problem. You could have, Guy Gardner would be your stand-in, just, caveman Neanderthal. And it'd be perfect. He would stick out like such a sore thumb to be funny, and it would never be like, oh, he's so offensive. It's like, well, he is offensive.
Yes, Guy Gardner would be so canceled. And he'd be like, whatever, babe, you can't cancel me. I'm the one true Green Lantern. He'd be awesome. Jan went, the Justice League Europe comment was to Jeff. Wasn't the series Europe and then international? So it started off as international, and then they turned it back to Justice League of America when they decided to spin off and do Justice League Europe. So it went through all these wild name changes because Maxwell Lord wanted them to go bigger than America. And that's when it shifted over, I think by issue 7. Well, I know it's issue 7.
It actually says it in the title. We're the Justice League International.
Yeah. But it's amazing. Snowglare, after you read JLI, you can read formerly known as Justice League. And what is that one? Shoot, I don't remember the acronym for that one. Europe was the second book. Yeah, the spinoff. And the spinoff was really good too, because it's part of the team, but they keep the same flavor of foolishness. And it's just really good. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters. Yes. Jace, what's your last one?
I was going through livesmoviefile.com, and I found the last book was Nightwing Fall of Grayson. And I just think I think it's time to give Nightwing an actual good book. I know Dan DiIdo wants to kill him off anytime he can. But I think it's, Nightwing's actually a cool character. And he does not have to be just straight Batman sidekick. But you can actually have him doing his own stories. And I mean, you guys, he's one of the few characters since they've let him have his own book has had really good graphic novels and stories. I mean, like Spiral was one of those stories I think really could be adapted to something cool. Yeah, that was him basically as a James Bond villain, but it was actually cool because you had Dick Grayson doing it. And I think it would be cool to have something like that in DC. So that's my last one.
Chief, what's yours?
So they did a Paul Bettany? Was it Bettany?
Mm-hmm. Vision.
Yeah. So they did a version of Priest, right? Which
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I would like a part 2 of that, but I would like to see it in cartoon form and like animation and like do, a 10 or 15 part series. And he can voice the character, I don't care, but I'd like to see Priest continue. I think that they could have done so much with that. Was it Susie Q? Was it Stacy Q? Susie Q? What's the girl Q?
Are you talking about
What's the girl named Q?
I know who you're talking about. She was in the Press Protege.
Maggie
Q.
Maggie Q.
Maggie Q. There it goes. Because she was in that joint with the with the ping pong. Right. Yep. And I would like to see. I would like to see a animated version of Priest, man, where they actually part 2 takes off from the where the movie ended, where he kind of threw the vampire head on the floor, and then they kind of go after the queen. You know what I mean? And then I enjoyed the movie, even though it didn't do anything. Like they never came out with a part 2. I don't know why they just, but I think if they did an animation joint, it would be really good.
Good call. All right. Since we got the dummy week, let me go really fast with mine. G.I. Joe from Larry Hama. Don't mess around. Just read all his stuff. Make it into a TV series. Don't go, oh, let's change it. No. Keep the same costumes, the same storylines. Just bring it to the small screen. Paramount Pictures, they have a streaming service that I would pay money every month to just to watch G.I. Joe. Don't it's a no-brainer. Jalen said it way earlier. We talked about it before, but a TVMA G.I. Joe streaming series. Yes, this is so dumb that they don't have this because G.I. Joe is easy. You don't have to worry about superpowers and all that other stuff. All you have to do is simply have an action show with a few interesting vehicles. That's it. Yeah, so movie podcast and he don't know the names. David Thanos bringing the heat. All right, well, time. Who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week? I just finished. Chief just finished. I guess that means it's you, Jace.
Oh man, funny. I'm my dummy of the week is you guys. Your 49ers. Yeah, you guys decided you're gonna lowball Brock Purdy because you've been listening to all the sports commentators telling you, hey, he's not that dang good. We can get somebody else. So you guys are offering him. I know this sounds crazy for all of us, but in a market where, Trevor Lawrence gets 55, Jordan Love gets 56, Dak Prescott gets as much money as he wants. You guys have said, hey, Brock, I know you got us to a Super Bowl, NFC Championship, but you had one bad year. So we're going to give you middle of the market money, and you're going to take that.
They're offering them the same amount of money as Patrick Mahomes.
From his contract that he signed 5 years ago.
Patrick Mahomes has how many Super Bowls versus Brock Purdy's Super Bowls?
How many years is Patrick Mahomes going to get a giant-sized contract that kills all other contracts?
I don't understand the point of lowballing him, but I agree you don't need to send the highest amount of money you're willing to pay as the first offer. Because if that's the first one, I wanted more. So yeah.
And well, hey, again, when he says thanks but no thanks, you can franchise tag me, and then you come in there with a Joe Flacco situation. Just remind you.
And how much are they paying him?
What did you say?
How much are they paying him?
the initial offer is 45 minutes. It's a waste of time. I mean, it's that stupid song and dance. I just wish I could fast forward to the draft pick where all this stupid part of the season. Hey, I heard they're gonna do this. They're gonna do this. It sucks. It's
Your
my
whole team.
least favorite time of the year. David Thanos, you're right. I mean, why is Travis Scott touching Cody?
They didn't. I mean, what was it? Mike Tyson was supposed to punch Shawn Michaels one time. In case it doesn't happen, we also, hey, don't punch Shawn Michaels. He will actually kill him. So don't do that.
Yeah.
But
well, Heartbreak Kid plays down for absolutely nobody, brother. Mine is I hate this time of year. I hate this time of year. Because it's so stupid. And I just want to get to the draft night where, and then after we make our picks, oh, they're not trading this top star. All these rumor dudes who are trying to get headline clicks. It sucks. Jamie, I was talking about my dummy. Huh?
You know, every year I wait for free agency. It's our season. That is the highlight of our season is free agency. After free agency, it is all downhill for New York. So we're going to step off that cliff and we're going to fall for the next 12 months almost. So yeah, Wallace, man. Hey, have a great night, man. So yeah, so our time is coming up, man. Our great time is coming up. It's almost free agency next Tuesday. And then it ends for us. That's our season. So at least you're talking. I'm draft. Yeah, we don't get to talk that. Good
Who's
times,
your nominee,
though.
Chief?
Good times.
Who's your nominee?
Who's my nominee? I got so many, man. You know, I was looking the other day at a news report, and they were like, the price of pickups about to go up from 80 to 100,000. And I started laughing because I couldn't afford 80. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those things when you're looking at it and they're like, the price of the Bugatti tires are going up. And you're thinking to yourself, how does that affect me? I can't afford a Bugatti. I can't afford a $25,000 tire. So this is good times, man. I find it hilarious. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, 80, 100. It's all the same to me. You know what I mean? You might as well told me that the truck was going to go up to 600,000 because I can't buy an $80,000 truck and I can't buy a $600,000 truck. So, news report, if you're trying to get me hyped up and mad at something, you failed because the price that it was regularly at, I couldn't have got one. So I don't even know who the hell buys new cars. I would love to have their jobs. Where do they work? So I may also work there too. So I can walk into a dealership and say, hey, give me that $80,000 pickup truck.
They're the screenwriters for the next Fantastic Four movie, Chief.
It has to be because they're going to like, what are you going to do with that pickup truck? Are you going to haul stuff with an $80,000 truck? I think not. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm getting a pickup truck because at 80 grand, I'm not going to put anything in it. Hey, L, man, can you help me move? No. I paid 80 grand for my truck. I cannot help you move. Call the U-Haul man. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, call somebody. Because at 80 grand, what the hell are you doing? What are you going to put in your truck at 80 grand for a pickup truck? What are you putting in your truck, bro?
Oh, you're gonna put fertilizer in there.
You're not
some extra beds.
Yeah. I'm not putting anything in my truck at that money. You know what I mean? Now, if you're talking 30,000, man, we can talk. You know what I mean? 80,000, I don't even want that thing scratched. So, well, look, bro, I feel you. Don't even get me started.
No, he was reporting for you on that.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm looking at the prices of everything, and I'm like, I'm almost priced out of eating. So you know, I've been saving grass clippings, turning into hay, tasting it every once in a while, see what I can do. But $80,000 for a pickup truck, absolutely not.
In the middle of the barn, Chief.
in the middle of the barn, brother. I'm looking at Betsy. She's mooing, but she's got that sad moo. She kind of moving away from me now when she moves because she's looking more and more delicious. But you know what I mean? I'm like, I might have to cut into you, Cal, before this year's over. But again, 80 grand for a pickup truck. Let me tell you something, man. That's all that is just crazy to me because I can't afford 80. I can't afford 100. So you might as well have just said, it's priced out of your range line. That's what the news report should have said. This is not for you. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. So I don't know what you're mad about. You know what I mean? If it's 80 grand, who's riding? Let me ask you though. If you paid 80 grand for a car, right? No. Are you going to risk scratching that car up?
No.
By putting your friend's bed or couch in the back?
I was going to say, technically speaking, we were all in it. We did a podcast from an $80,000 truck.
An $80,000 truck that actually that truck was $92,000. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. That bed of that truck never saw anything heavier than groceries. Believe that. Believe what happened there. Right. You're not going to put anything in the back of $100,000 truck.
I was just saying, you can get a much better meal going to fast casual food than you can actually get going to fast food now.
Let me tell you something, man. The last time I went to Applebee's, and this has been a good 15, 16 years now, they served me something like a steak. And I remember they brought it to the table, and I remember looking at it, and I said to myself, what the hell is that? Because it was a steak, but they said it was steak. And I just remember I pushed it away from me, and I was like, oh. And I haven't been back to an Applebee's since. I was like, they're not going to feed me something like a steak.
Did you order riblets?
Bro, it was supposed to be.
That actually is one of the most offensive things ever in my life I've had. Like, come on. Like, you mean a bunch of bones in here? Come on. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. And look, I don't make 200 grand a year. So I'm never going to get an $80,000. I've never owned a new car. Now, I've owned some nice cars, but that's because I always go a few years down and get what I like. But $80,000 car, I mean, I don't even know what I would do with it. I like if a car kicked up a chip of a pebble and it hit my car, you know what I would do to the driver that did that on an 80 grand car? I would follow him, and when he got out of the car, he wouldn't even know why he's getting a whooping.
Sir.
You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. And yeah, so yeah, something like a steak, bro. That's what it was, man. It was something like a steak.
And this show has been something like a phenomenon. It was just being served up. I couldn't resist. Chief Jace, thank you as always, fellas. Appreciate you. Chuck, thanks for coming through, hanging out with us for a bit. Let's thank a roll call to everybody here in the chat. David Thanos, Justin Huber, the movie guy, King Collector, Blake Tarpley, Snow Glare, Snake Eyes, Mark A, Lawson Wallace, Ryan Daly. Did I say Blake Tarpley already? Let's say it again just in case I missed him. Jamelin Parks, X the Realist 101X. Oh, see.
King Collector,
Michael Solis. I think now I've caught everybody. Yes, maybe so. If I didn't, Jeff, you need to make a jump cut of Best of Chiefs, sir, Bush, etc. I will get on it though. All right, well, thank you all for hanging out with us on another fine night here of Lyle's Movie Files. Tomorrow, back at it again for Lyle's Figure Files, talking about Storm Collectibles coming through with Storm Arena. And the rain is coming back down again. Hopefully I'll have power tomorrow. So we'll see. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.